Hi and welcome to this second tutorial on how to use the LA2MES Thermotrends application, the Engineer application. For this one, I'm going to assume you've watched the first one and you've logged in and you've brought down your results. You've brought down your workload and pick up where I left off in the last tutorial. So here we have the Thermotrends validation site, which has got work for us to do. We no longer need to be connected to the internet anymore now. But as you can see down here, I actually do have the reader connected to my laptop. So let's go ahead, double click this or open it. Now there are three tabs sitting on the system here. One tab is simply just telling you where you're at, where you've got to go to do the work. The first tab is for allocating I buttons. This is to put new I buttons into the system, ones that haven't been used or where there's a new location to be set up. So this is telling us down the bottom here that we've 0 I buttons to be removed. We have 1 I button to allocate to this location, and we have 3 I buttons to read in this location. Now to do this is pretty simple. So we go to we're on the Allocate I buttons tab here. You click on the row that you want, so the hot water feed to the wash hand basin here, and we click on the Assign I button here. And then you simply take your new I button, your new I button that you're putting into service, and you connect it to the system. The system beeps once to tell you that it's starting to load the mission, and then a second beep tells you that it's complete, and you can see that the I button has actually disappeared off your list, so you know you've finished that one. You then got I buttons to read. I've 3 I buttons to actually collect results for here, and the I buttons I'm removing now so we can do the test. I'll show you what this looks like in a video as well in a second. So we then actually, because the I buttons have been allocated, don't need to click on any particular I button now. The system will know which button has been allocated to a location. So all we actually have to do now is to click on Read I button, and again we take the I button and we connect it to the sensor. A single beep to say that we're connected. Then a little pause while it reads some 2,000 results, and a second beep which then tells you that the read has been completed. Following that read, you would effectively have read in 2,000 readings off of that unit. Now if that I button is scheduled to keep working, it's going to stay in the same location, then it will just disappear as it has done. If the I button service is to be finished, I've got another I button off ready to read here. If the I button service is to end, you get a little message coming up telling you to end the mission. So then all I do now, I have a second one, so I just simply click Read I button again, and I'm going to put another I button on the system. One beep, wait, finish the read. 2 beeps and another one disappears, and that's 2 of my 3 duties done. I have my third I button here, which I will remove from its location. Again, I just hit the read button and put it on the sensor. That gives you some idea how long it takes to read a couple of thousand results, only a few seconds. And we've now completed the job of allocating the I button and of measuring the 3 I buttons. Of course, these 3 I buttons, they're all scheduled to stay in service. They now need to go back into position, back to their location for monitoring. When the system reads the information off of them, it reallocates whatever the duty is that the client wants these I buttons to be reading back to the I button. So it clears down the old data, reallocates the workload, and the buttons then wait dormant for 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes now, having read these I buttons, before they will start reading results again and expect to be back in position. Just before I show you the I button on a piece of pipe and the probe and the reading process, an excellent suggestion came in from a client that whilst on site you might want to see the results and be able to discuss those with your client. So we added a tab here, iButton graph. Any of the iButtons that you've read today, the ones you haven't yet sent back up to your system, will be listed here. If you click on them, choose graph iButton, it will complete a Excel report which will throw on your desktop. I can move that into screen here, and if I open that, you'll see that the Excel spreadsheet says what the location was that you've just loaded into the Excel spreadsheet, and the results that have come off of the testing routine. So you've now got a nice easy way of being able to look at the results and subsequently report anything back to the client before you've even left site, if that was something you needed to achieve. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the iButton looks like now for real. Okay, so as promised, here's a short live demo of the actual Velcro straps that hold the iButtons, convincingly wrapped around a 20mm pipe just to make it easy to record. A plastic pipe, probably not the best thing to be trying to temperature measure. Still, it serves purpose. As you can see, the iButtons are held in little clips which are pushed through the Velcro. The pads keep the buttons warm or cold, so it helps match the temperature of the pipe. And the pads pull off very easily for measurement, as you can see there, where we just put the probe over the top of the button, hold it nice and firmly. We've tried to put code in to deal with you breaking connection halfway through, but it's never 100% reliable, so it does help if you're careful about putting the probe on in one steady movement, holding it there and then taking it back off again. As I said, once the probe has taken a reading, the iButton will be set to begin its mission again in about 5 minutes time. So all you'd have to do is to get the iButton back, put it back on the right place, of course, with each one being individually allocated. And the little netbook itself with the probe, as you can see, is just a flexi lead with a little push on and a USB connector. So that's all it is.